In today's video, I'm showing my pros and cons of buying a house or house hunting during the winter months and how that can be a good opportunity for you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. What's going on? My name is Kyle Powers and I am your local real estate expert here in the Manhattan, Kansas area. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, but let's go ahead and get into it, right? You're thinking about buying a house this winter. Cool. Maybe everybody else says it's a bad idea, but I will tell you, it is probably one of the better ideas if you want to get a deal. Everybody else is putting their house on the market in the spring and things that way, but the people that are actually putting it on the market now are your motivated sellers. Whatever the motivation actually is, if they're putting their house in the market in the winter, it's probably because they have to or need to get out of town or do whatever the deal is. Doesn't matter. My point being is it gives you an opportunity as the buyer to be able to get a good deal on a home and be able to still potentially get into something and not be dealing with hundreds and hundreds of other competition as well. Winter weather can actually make house hunting a little more difficult, obviously for the safety reasons of slipping and falling on ice and snow and things like that. But I also want you to be prepared for that because it can be a good thing. And the reason being is looking at winter specific problems, right? Like you don't know if a house is drafty. You don't know if you're losing a lot of heating out the roof or out the ceiling because of low insulation. These are opportunities that you have that you can do that and get into a home and be like, oh, it feels cold in this room. Why is that? Is it not getting enough heat? Is it not getting enough conditioned air? Is it not have enough insulation? Whatever the problem may be, you get to see those winter specific issues that are with a home that maybe one, the seller doesn't necessarily know about. They aren't always trying to hide something from you. But two, that gives you the opportunity to really kind of look at that stuff and really kind of pay attention to what's happening. My point being is that it's not a bad time to be looking in the winter just because you have the opportunity to really dive deep into those winter specific issues like heating and air, insulation, drafts, all things like that you can be paying attention to. So next thing on my list is going to be taking advantage of some of those lower prices and better deals and things that way. Sometimes again, you're dealing with motivated sellers. If they're putting the house on the market in the winter, it's because they want to get the home sold, they want to get taken care of, they want to roll with it, right? You have an opportunity, if you can catch the right one, you're not dealing with as many buyers. You have a seller who is motivated to sell it. Sometimes if it's during the early winter, like November time period, November, December, maybe they want to sell it before the end of the year and get it off of their books. Maybe it's in the beginning of the winter, or sorry, the beginning of the year. And then at that point now it's like, okay, well, now I can either wait till spring or I can sell it now. I know for me, I've got a personal house that I've got on the market and I'm motivated to sell it, right? And I know I need to sell it. I want it gone. I want it sold. But the thing with that is I just need the buyers. There's not as many buyers right now. So it's one of those things where it's a catch-22, right? You have the opportunity, you can get into the having less buyers, but less inventory as well. But that's why it's also good for sellers too, because there's not as much out there for buyers looking to get into the houses. So that's what I would say. It's kind of good on both hands, so that's why I go there. Next thing I want to talk to you about is actually inspecting for winter specific issues. I know I just talked to you about this, but I mean, there's a lot of specific things that you can look at for that one. If a house feels cold, first check the thermostat. Is it too cold in there because it's set low? Or is it set at 80 degrees and it's sitting at 60, right? Like there's differences that come with that. Or is the gas off? I've had that one. I literally just had that one where the seller shut the gas off and almost froze the water lines. So that was fun. We're going to be dealing with that one here. We're supposed to close on that one next week, actually. There's a lot of specifics that you need to be aware of, and sometimes it sneaks up on you as a seller and buyers, and you want to make sure that you're buying the right product and buying the right stuff. Obviously, doing your inspections because that's going to be a thing, but you want to be prepared for all things. One of the things as a buyer that I would tell you to be prepared for as well is a lot of times people are not as quick to get to things, right? You've got Thanksgiving in there, you've got Christmas in there, you've got New Year's in there. Like it stacks up a lot, and that pushes back appraisers, and that pushes back inspectors, and that pushes back, I mean, it pushes everything out. So be prepared for a slower process. Just kind of watch that because it's going to happen, and just come at things with a grain of salt. I want you to make sure that you are ready and prepared for it, but also just be like I had one. We were supposed to close tomorrow. Things for whatever reason I know why, because they got pushed because we couldn't get all the repairs done. We couldn't get all the repairs done because of Thanksgiving. Well, now we're going to have to push our closing to Monday. not a big deal, but just stuff to really kind of pay attention to, and to come out with, how do I say this, an open mind with things, because people are going through that. You can't ask a plumber to go work on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day. Can't do that, right? I mean, you could, but it's not very nice of you. But that's, so just kind of understand that the process is a little bit slower, just because people take more time off this time of year as it goes there. So just kind of be prepared for that. That would be one of my cons for the particular area and for the particular process. So obviously you're looking at this video and just kind of curious of what it's like to buy a house in the winter. What I will tell you, this is my personal takeaway. I think when you're ready to buy, go buy, right? Like sometimes your lease is up in January, February, March, whatever that is. You need to be looking in the winter months. That's going to be a driver for you, right? If you have the opportunity to wait, sure, some more stuff might come on the market, but I'll tell you, I bought my house in November, in the middle of all the winter season and everything, or I said technically the beginning, and I guess I bought and sold my second house, or I bought my second house and sold my first house. It was in September, so not quite in the summer, but kind of in the fall. But my point being is that, you know, I think you need to do it when you're ready. It's not like, oh, I got to hit the market perfect. No one's going to time the market. I look at the market every single day and I can't even time the market. So I think that's my biggest piece for you, is just be ready. And be ready for when that house looks and then when that house comes up. My biggest tip for any buyer is that the moment you go under contract on a house, delete Zillow, delete Realtor.com, stop all notifications, stop everything, right? Because the thing with it is that your grass isn't always greener on the other side. And what's going to happen is, oh man, I missed that by one day or whatever it is. No. FOMO's a real thing, I promise you that, but I promise you, if you go in and you do your research and you work with your agent, again, hopefully that's me, but if it's not, you work with your agent, you pick the right home for you, and you pick the right home that fits your needs, and everything just kind of stacks up that way, you'll be okay. And I would tell you, just don't worry about the FOMO, don't worry about what's on after, or don't worry about the deal that you had or whatever. If it works for you, do it then and do it at that moment, because that's where it's going to be good. You can make a house a home. That's on you. So just be ready for that one. From motivated sellers to low prices and everything in between, house hunting in the winter can actually be a really good thing for you. So if you are interested in more videos or more things like that, one, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on house hunting in the winter. Put in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Two, if you do enjoy this content and you have anything for me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future videos. Give us that like, because it does help us grow the channel. And as always, I am a local licensed real estate agent here in the Manhattan area. If you have any real estate specific questions or anything else like that, please reach out to me. I would love to help you and get you taken care of. My phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. And again, please reach out. I'm here to help. I don't care if you're buying, selling, investing, or anything real estate related. I want to help. I want to get you taken care of and put you in the right hands of, whether it be a real estate agent, me, a property manager, or whoever that is. I want to point you in the right direction and make sure that your experience with Manhattan and our area is a great one. And otherwise, you guys, thank you so much for watching to this point, and I'll see you next time.